Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Commentary's Magic Stream on today, Sunday, June 15th, 2025. I am, as always, Grandpaws.
Big Cheese is somewhere over the Atlantic. I'm Arakat, and
Grok, what is this?
don't answer
Grok,
that.
is this real?
Are these really Tales of Light spoilers? Or are you just making things now?
Would you like me to whip something up very quickly? You're not going to enjoy it.
You don't know that. I greatly enjoyed the chaos that was present at Everfree a few years ago. Come on, that was pretty good.
I mean, it was. But then
the
we accidentally gave... No. The real travesty there was that card that Hithrock got, where Hithrock made a card that turned every card into Trixie, retroactively.
That was admittedly not the best. Hithrock will argue, and it's okay. Hithrock is allowed to be wrong. Also, I'd like to get Hithrock to sign a treaty saying Hithrock is allowed to be wrong.
When you convince him to do that, let me know.
Will do. Like Attaboy says, referencing whether or not these cards are real or not, figure it out. How does it work? Figure it out. Welcome to spoiler season. Part 2.
They're getting ripe.
They're getting so ripe that they are spontaneously generating additional cards next to them.
See,
last time
you say this, but you've actually done that.
I have. We have sat there and looked at cards and been like, you know what this thing really needs is this particular effect right here.
Hey, we've got a new card. Can you go flavor it?
Kinda. I'm not going to make you do that live on stream here. So, like, I think we're doing okay.
That particular one is reserved for design a card at con.
Yeah, a little bit.
So we've got some pre-cooked, already fully cooked, just heat and serve.
Diamond Song is prepared to share more flavor facts about Tales of Light. Thank you, Diamond. We appreciate you being here in chat. And thank you again for the awesome flavor on the wide majority of these cards as well. So last time we showcased kind of broad overviews of what's going on in Tales of Light. We talked about some of the themes that were going to be there. We talked about some of the mechanics and cycles and stuff that was there. And those are all great. And I'm sure we'll see more of them.
But let's see more of them right now.
But let's see more of them right now. And specifically, let's take a look at some cards that have a tendency to work together very well. We are not saying that they only work with cards within these sets, but it's always fun to find little synergies within a set itself, either for constructed or for limited. I imagine our limited players might be interested to see a few of these here. Some of them might be a little unrealistic just based on rarity, but you know what? If you get lucky enough and someone hasn't snatched up some of these cards and you can make these work, then I say go for it. So we'll alternate here. Looking at the pairs, but yeah, I can start with the first one if you don't mind. Let's get into it because we got a few here for you.
Google's being weird. Hold on. Okay. The first one, okay.
It's Crab Rave. And by Crab Rave, I mean Crab Office Slave. McSnips a lot, no touchy, and extreme case filage. So on the left, we have a 1-cost, 1-power, white and yellow friend. If it's a critter, if an opposing card would be put into its owner's hand from play, banish it to beneath this card instead. When this card leaves play, put all cards banished this way into their owner's hands. This has some vague bedtime vibes going on.
Got a little bit of high magic opalescence going too.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's a good one.
I hated that card. And
Opalescence?
Yes,
great.
I hated that card.
Of course you did, because
it was pretty annoying.
banished Gabby and stuff like that. It was mean.
Exactly.
Extreme case fileage over here, 1-cost yellow event. Immediate speed, 3 rec. Immediate put a friend with cost 3 or less that entered play this turn into its owner's hand. Didn't we just get rid of an event that did this? Aren't we all glad to see Unsat gone?
No.
But it's back. In
In
pod
crab
form.
form? In crab form?
I mean, it's what is it? It's carcinization? Yeah, there we go.
Sure. Google, I'm going to play Gyro to find this. Then I'm going to play this on Gyro. The value. Spending 2 AT.
To find a different event, I guess.
Sure, you're not even losing card advantage because Gyro's still back in your hand and you pulled this card out of your deck, so
No,
yeah, if you need to burn 2 AT, sure, go ahead.
and then you're getting lots of interplay triggers on it. I'm sure that there's some bad way to like actually abuse this.
See, if f-stop was still legal, that would actually be kind of amazing, but it's not. So at that point, I don't actually know what you're accomplishing.
I don't know.
This is interesting.
What you're
This
accomplishing is putting your opponent off balance, where they're just like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah, true. We have seen a large number of yellow things that can bounce opposing cards. And if I go back and look at Ponyhead, I'm pretty sure that Bedtime only affected friends. Let me take a quick peek here. Bedtime did only affect friends, and it affected both players' friends. So, being able to do this equally cheaply, that only affects one side and affects all cards. This means if you want to bounce a resource, go for it. If you want to bounce a troublemaker, go for it. You want to bounce a friend, go for it. You want to bounce a main,
Figure it out.
figure it out. But hey, for 2 AT, as a means of banishing that, you know what? That's pretty good. Also, you might ask, what happens to McSnipsalot? He's just a tiny little guy. What happens if he gets scared?
He's just a little guy.
He's just a little guy with little claws.
I don't know. Those claws look pretty big, like relatively
Big
speaking.
and big meaty claws.
I was waiting for it. Yeah. Yeah, don't scare the crab. You scare the crab, he has a tendency to pinch real hard, and then your stuff's gone forever.
Yep.
So there you go. Interesting potential. Also worth noting, extreme case mileage works with your friends too.
Yeah.
Would you like it? Would you like a slightly less efficient yellow portal? I mean, there you go.
I mean, that's still sure, whatever. It's one card, and I guess you actually have to play it, which, hey, that's even better.
I'm going to play it on Zipperwill. I'm going to play Zipperwill, and my opponent's going to be like, okay, that's fine. And then I'm putting Zipperwill back in my hand. My opponent will lose 2 action tokens, and I will laugh. And then I will have no Zipperwill, and I will have spent 3 action tokens, but I took away 2 from my opponent. Isn't that what really matters?
And sometimes that's worth. Like, legitimately.
All right. Next pair.
Next pair. Let's see, what do we got here? We got Misty and Alphabetal, Daddy-Daughter Day. Kind of poignant, huh? And Zoom's Upper Wing, Royal Decree. So, what do we got here? 4 power, blue, orange, 6 cost. Why is it so expensive? Oh, look, it's got assist 2. Okay, that helps. 2 rec. Characters here have stubborn. Characters, okay. Pretty good. The first friend you play, other than this friend, has assist 1. Oh, each turn, that's kind of important. Yeah. So that's not bad if you're running a bunch of cheap stuff. What's Zoom doing over here? 4 power, 4 costs, 3 blue rec, assist 2. Okay. When you play this card to a problem, you may move any characters that assisted this card to the same problem. Okay, so what am I looking at here exactly? I'm looking at Discount Rainbow Dash. What was that card?
Winged Wonder.
Was it One Winged Wonder? Yeah, sure. Okay.
No, not One Winged Wonder, just Winged Wonder, I think.
Yeah.
The one that moved 3 friends? Yeah, Winged Wonder.
It's been a long time since I've seen that card.
Sure has. Now, this is interesting, right? First friend you play, other than this one, has assist 1, but Zoom Zephyrwing already has assist 2. Yeah, that works. It has both of those, so you can exhaust up to 2 characters for assist 2 and up to 1 additional character for assist 1. Which means you can play Zoom Zephyrwing for 1. And then move 2 characters.
What if we moved Misty and Alphabettle?
Sure.
That seems
Misty
good.
and Alphabet. That seems good.
It seems real good, in fact. You know, all those exhausted characters that aren't contributing, except they are because Misty and Alphabettle, everything's stubborn.
Everything's there.
So yeah, we're just moving stuff to the same problem, and you know, if you're in blue and orange here, maybe you've got a Donut Joe there as well, and your stuff's getting bigger every time you exhaust it, or maybe you've got Angry Mob and you can exhaust stuff twice per turn, you know.
Or let's go back into Harmony, and now we're going to pull a bunch of couch potatoes around. It's a weird tricolor deck, don't worry about it.
It is important to note that Misty and Alphabettle has seen numerous tweaks since it was originally printed, because it turns out giving your stuff assist is really valuable. Who could have seen this coming?
The original version was a little broken.
Is this always unique?
This is, I think it was always unique, yes. But its stubborn granting ability used to be global instead of location restricted. And it used to just give all your friends assist 1.
I think it used to have more power as well.
It did, or it was cheaper. I think it was like 5 cost. Anyway, turns out the effect's really good. And hey, you know what? Nice thing here, kinda low rec. You can play Misty and Alphabettle off of like a Get Prepared.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad. Okay, we've seen white and yellow, and we've seen blue and orange. Ivory, that means you get the evil colors.
Why do I have to do the evil colors? Look at these monsters. They're staring at me.
Forever and ever and ever and ever.
Okay.
I'm very annoyed that I don't have enough room in the flavor box to do anything with that.
You can always make more room. Anyway, Pipsqueak's Triplets of Terror. 3 costs, 1 pink purple rec, 3 pink purple power. When you banish 1 or more cards from anywhere for the first time each turn, draw a card and give this card +2 power until the end of the turn. When you shuffle your deck for the first time each turn, draw a card and give this card +2 power. Again, that seems dangerous.
It's a fair amount of cards.
And the useless, relaxing babysitter we have next to them, Elderberry Blossom, 5 cost, 2 purple rec, 5 purple power. With assist 2 and immediate, exhaust this card to banish a card from a discard pile to look at a number of cards equal to that banished card's cost from the top of a player's deck, and put them on the top or bottom in any order.
That is a single shot meticulous that works on your opponent. That is kind of ridiculous.
And you know, if your opponent chucked, let's say a spike or a tricorn into their discard, and you banish it, you go, that cost 5. Well, let's see the top sizable percentage of your deck. Or my deck. And then also, while we're at it, we'll draw a card and give Pipsqueaks additional power. This is especially fun if you're using it on yourself, because hey, even if you're banishing a relatively low cost card from your discard pile, you can still sit there and say, yeah, I do want this card or not this one on top, and then you immediately draw it with Pipsqueak.
Pipsqueaks are also 2 of the 3 colors that Canterlove is in.
Oh, that also banishes stuff.
It does, doesn't it?
It does. It do indeed banish stuff. It also draws stuff.
That's crazy.
Man. And purple also is a pretty known banishing color. What with the resources and the portal effects. Man.
If only Elderberry Blossom was awake to put a stop to these triplets of terror. But no, she's asleep in a spog.
She's having a good time. Leave her alone. In fact, that's why she's in this bog. She's trying to get away from them.
I do want to note, while there's not necessarily inherent synergy here, that's Earth Pony, Pegasus, Unicorn, and Fool, which I believe are all 4 of the traits that Sunny and her dad have from the blue-pink card from last set.
Yep.
Which would give all your characters +4 power until the end of the turn if you had Pipsqueaks there. And blue adds that 3rd color that Ivory was talking about for Canterlove. So, maybe blue,
Yes.
pink, purple aggro ?
I don't like it.
While
It's
you're
weird.
at it, just do Allura and Twitch things.
We'll just throw ANT in there because we can.
I mean, might as well.
Sure. Okay.
Let's go back to not mean colors.
Okay. You want to do the next one?
Sure.
Okay. Go back to not mean colors.
Wait.
Color stuff here. Wait.
You said not mean colors. What?
I didn't say the cards weren't mean. I said they were not mean colors.
Are we playing in the same meta with the same blue decks?
Probably.
Okay. Go ahead.
So we have Phyllis Cloverleaf speak to your manager. 1 cost, 3 blue rec, 2 blue power. When you frighten a friend for the first time each turn, you may draw a card, then discard a card. I can think of another Phyllis card similar to this, and I can think of a blue main that really likes discarding cards. Anyway, definitely nothing going on there. And then we also have Madame Fluffytail. 2 cost, 1 blue rec, 2 blue power, a magic restored friend. When this card is put into your discard pile from anywhere other than play, you may put a magic counter on one of your cards. Curious. We're discarding stuff and putting magic counters on stuff. Yeah, see, there's nothing wrong here.
No. Nothing wrong at all. We certainly... Go ahead.
Just nice, calm, ordinary blue things.
You were the one who was literally just mentioning A&T here, and if we run Allura and Twitch, get the magic counter, spend it, gain control of an opposing friend, then that friend is frightened, then we draw a card from A&T, we draw a card from Phyllis Cloverleaf, we discard a card, we discard Madame Taffytail, put a magic counter back on A&T, do it again next turn. This is fine?
Grok, summarize this for me, it's too long.
That was too many syllables. Apologize.
I apologize for nothing. Your friends are scared, so be prepared. No, wait, what's her line? To be scared is to be prepared?
To be scared is to be prepared.
I mean,
That
these obviously fit in really well with what we're currently seeing blue decks do lately. So I expect to see at least definitely Phyllis Cloverleaf, but Madam Taffytail, you're probably going to see that in some of your more Magic Restored oriented decks that are running blue.
I think alongside the Chaos Flip from Sunny, that is technically the cheapest method we have of putting a magic counter on a card, as you can discard it to any effect, like Shining, for instance.
Yeah, but now I need to get it back and continue cycling it.
There I cannot help you. Just run 3. Or draft like 10 of them. It's fine.
Draft 10 of them.
Shining's going to be legal for a proxy main in Limited, right?
Oh my
What
God.
rigged draft packs are you using that you managed to get 10 of these in 8 packs?
I mean, look, Pages would probably find it funny. So,
Maybe he just puts a bunch in the queue, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
all right. Wait, you're not allowed to do that.
Not allowed to do what?
Let us see that. Okay. Next up. More mono stuff. Okay.
We'll go through each of the colors here. Give each of them something to show.
Mono name?
Yeah, pretty close. Okay, we got 2 Xantorp cards. We got a friend and a troublemaker. Okay, 5 power, 5 cost, 4 orange. This is a critter rock. You like rocks? Okay. When one of your rock friends enters play for the first time each turn, dismiss an opposing exhausted friend with 2 or less power. And, of course, Xantorp is a rock. But then, immediate, pay 2 and discard a card, put a rock token into play. So... Okay, so I can just start, like, deleting stuff off my opponent's board? Okay.
So you remember the argument back in the day that no, we never kill ponies in this game. They're dismissed. They're sleeping.
I mean,
The slow ones get squished by rocks. I don't know what to tell you. They'll be okay. It's fine. You can get them back. Rocks fall, every pony squeeze.
it needs to take a moment. Okay, and then the troublemaker, at the start of a face-off involving this card, put a rock token into play here. So, that's not bad. That's a nice combo with the friend. And then during face-offs, this card has +3 power for each rock friend here. So he's gonna get big, and can also potentially defend against annoying friends while getting big.
Mod would be proud.
Mod would be proud. And then the thing is, Mod's gonna lose.
Mod's generally bigger than 2 power. Mod's okay.
Now,
Mod's
it's
probably doing fine.
It's probably bad, but you should also run the rock troublemaker from Friends Forever. That way your opponent gets even more confused.
We have a rock troublemaker from Friends for... Oh, that one. Oh, that was terrible. Boo!
Yeah. Even Smolder said, like, rock, ROC.
I was so confused for
And
a
so
moment
will
there.
your opponent be when you do it.
What the? Okay, that took me a bit. That's... Alright.
Yeah. Okay. Well done. Good pun. That's a lot of rocks. If you play that friend who, by the way, has one of the best subtitles. And Ara, I think you can take credit for that.
Yeah, that one's a bit spicy, but enough people just laughed at it. It's like, all right, fine.
So we're playing Xantorp. We have a Xantorp face up. Someone starts a face off there. There are now 2 rock friends at that problem. Xantorp is now 10 power, and in theory, 2 exhausted friends with 2 or less power have been dismissed. Spicy rocks. And hey, Orange has the ability to exhaust, so I don't know, maybe run this with like AJ or something. Have fun. Run some AJ control. What could go wrong?
Run some Apple Bloom control and permanently exhaust their stuff.
Ugh. Mean. All right, I thought we said we were talking nice colors. Let's go nice colors.
Nice colors. I don't believe you. Okay, this is a little bit better than the last one. Let's see what we've got next.
Our definitions of nice are really off.
Yeah, we've become kind of warped over time. Okay. Fifi, Crash Course. 2 cost, 1 wreck, 2 power. Pretty easy friend to play, Pegasus. When this card is exhausted, you may dismiss an exhausted friend. Okay. But she doesn't exhaust. But then we have Izzy's Craftmobile, which is a 2 cost, 2 wreck, 4 power resource that you play on one of your friends. And you may exhaust that friend, not this resource, but that friend at main phase timing to pay 1 less to play your next friend this turn. If you control Izzy, draw a card.
It's a literal Cloud Chaser hat. You put it on a pony.
It only took us 14 sets, okay? She's back in
motorcycle form?
In motorcycle form.
You got an opponent that won't stop exhausting things for assist. Show them what happens. Throw Izzy's Craftmobile at them.
I mean, this is also kind of funny with Fifi, where it's just like, go ahead. Exhaust her.
Watch what happens. Yeah. I like getting incremental value from multiple cards working in tandem. Fifi by herself, if you can exhaust her, sure, you get Dismissal. Craftmobile by itself, yeah, you get to pay 1 less for friends. That's not bad. If you control an Izzy, draw a card in there too. Combine them all together, 3 great tastes that dismiss your stuff and give you card advantage. Or dismiss your opponent's stuff and give you card advantage. And give you AT advantage too. Pink is mean. What happened to nice colors? Maybe purple will do better. Come on.
Purple will do better.
Purple.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Do not quote me on that. Purple. Maybe purple will do better. GP 2025.
Well, I don't have to quote you on it. We've got this, captured in 4K.
You're not streaming in 4K.
Only Big Cheese streams in 4K.
That's because Cheese is insane and actually runs a 4K monitor. All right, let's see what purple. Okay.
It's not nicer.
Okay. No. Hold on. Look, this event might actually be nice. This is.
There's a troublemaker on the screen.
I'm not paying. Troublemakers don't have costs or colors. Silly.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, Giant Benisius, 24 karat magic. Diamond is outdoing herself with the puns. 0 power, so alright, 1 point. Troublemaker, Epic Chaotic. Chaos text. While this card is flipped, it has power equal to 3 plus the highest printed power among opposing of flipped cards. Okay. During face-offs, this card's power is equal to 3 plus the highest power amongst characters involved in the face-off. And this card can only be challenged by 3 or more characters. So, sure, it flips for 0. But if you run the Traitor to the Hive up to this, he's going to be sad.
You will be very sad, as it will be big. But what if your opponent plays like a Star School Research and then flips that, and then you flip this? Well, then it's actually, 10. I would like to challenge this with 3 characters with -3 power.
Okay, is this how you're getting around me refusing to print a card with a number in the corner that's bigger than 7? It's clever.
Yes.
I like it.
Technically. But what does this have to do with the event?
Well, let's read the event. Marestream Melding. 4 power, 1 cost, 2 purple. Immediate. During a face-off, double the power of one of your flipped cards. 10's a big number. What about
20 is even larger.
How about 20?
I can't get it to Tree Fitty.
You
Not
can
with
get
that
it-
attitude,
You
you can.
you can get it to Tree Fitty. It's just going to require a little bit of work. Unless you are saying 3.5.
3 1/4. I mean, I think we could do that with one of the Chaos cards.
Sure.
How do you pay half a mana?
Figure it out. This is not a farming troublemaker.
This is a troublemaker that's going to just sit there and be like, were you trying to do something today? That's a shame. Because I don't think you should be doing anything today.
I am going to play this card and run Magic Brownout the moment my opponent moves their 3rd character to this problem. And move everything home. And say, try again in a few turns. And I will be amused by this. What if they actually have magic counters on their characters? You know what? Good read then. That's fine. They would need to have multiple magic counters on their characters, I think. Yeah, they would need to have 2 magic counters on their characters. Okay. Alright. Surely.
White. That
Surely
color,
white.
known for being a pain in the butt, will be nice. You know what? I think you're... What's going on here? Why is white being nice?
What?
They're also happy.
Alright, so we've got Alphabettal and Haven. Love is in the air. 2 cost, 2 rec, 1 power. When this friend enters play, give another one of your friends plus X power until the end of the turn, where X is the number of action tokens you gained during the action step this turn. That's where you gain AT at the start of your turn. You play it early on. You give something plus 2 power. Okay, it's fine. You play this late game. You just spent 2 AT, get a friend in play, and give something 5 power. That's pretty good. And then we've got... Go ahead.
Judge.
Yes.
My opponent has played a Trixie Guidance Counselor and caused me to skip my action step this turn. In fact, my entire ready step phase.
Okay.
How many points do I receive?
None. You have spent 2 action tokens to play a 1 power character. 1 power friend. Good job.
At that point, pay 1 to draw. That way you can just feel worse.
Yeah. And then Lip Gloss collab. 2 cost, 2 rec, 3 power. Main phase, you need minus X power, or minus X, to confront each problem this turn, where X is the highest power among characters you control at that problem. So you kind of effectively get to double the effectiveness of your highest power character at each problem towards confronting wild stuff. All right.
I mean, it sounds to me like you're gonna be hitting your opponent's problems like maybe not for free, but much cheaper.
It's going to be close. And these are both white cards that have white requirement, which means if you're running Sandbar and Yona, you're getting extra power from each of those two. What world are we living in?
White is the aggro color?
Where white is the nice color, where white just says, look, man, I just want some power. I just want to be able to go fast. I just want to confront this problem. Get out my way.
In fact, I'm gonna wink at you, so now you can't get in my way.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, I guess that probably happened.
I mean, that's the backhanded compliment from Pip. Don't worry about it.
I mean, next thing you're going to tell me yellow's doing, like, the meanest thing out of any of the colors that we've seen here, right?
Given the trajectory, yes. Let's see if we're right.
You're wrong.
Am I?
Maybe. I mean, what do we got here? We got Sparky, sharing is caring. Look, he just wants to give you a stuffed animal. 2 cost, 2 yellow rec, 2 yellow power. At the start of each player's turn, each other player gains 2 action tokens.
Well, that seems nice.
This bad boy is unique. For a reason.
For a reason. Okay. So, sure, I'll play Sparky, and then on your turn, I'll get 2 AT, and on my turn, you'll get 2 AT. Seems fine.
Yeah, Diamond says, I'll give you that Sparky. You don't need to give the Sparky away. He works just fine when he's under your control.
Yeah, it affects everybody. We're just sharing action. Everybody loves action tokens, all right? Who's going to be mad at you for giving them extra action tokens?
Judge, I'm playing a multiplayer game.
Figure it out. Okay, and we have a problem.
Okay, this problem is nice. The person it is mean to is me.
Yeah, but you're mean anyway, so it happens. Cutie Mark Theft. 7 wild for you, 8 wild for your opponent. Immediate. Pay 4 and banish this card. Banish this card to end the turn. If this card wasn't a dilemma, put the top card of your problem deck into play face up. That is I don't think that's nice. I think that's mean. You're banishing a problem, which is mean, and you're also ending the turn. Probably your opponent's turn when they did not want you to.
I would assume you are probably ending it on your opponent's turn. So, using the flavor from this, I think what we're doing here is like Hitch is giving Sparky the little plush dragon that he's holding, and Sparky's like, ah, that's adorable. And then Hitch goes to take his turn, and Sparky just beans Hitch with the plush dragon and knocks him out for 6 seconds. And then Sparky picks up the dragon and takes his turn. This is my headcanon. So, I think we have to address the elephant in the room here. This is a problem that says banish this card on it.
I
How
hate
does
it.
this make you feel? How does this make you feel,
I
Aura?
hate it. Why have you done this?
Share your feelings with the forum, Aura Cat.
No. It might be Change Filling Amnesty Month, but no.
This is a safe space, Aura.
There you go. Let it out. It's okay.
Anger is a part of the grieving process.
We should probably clarify. Nowhere on this card does it say replace. That is intentional.
Just blows itself up and has some text on it to make sure that you're not stuck there with a problem deck and no active problem.
Right. It is a regular problem. You can only run 2 of them.
So you can only do this twice.
Right. You do get the ability to thin out your problem deck pretty dramatically if you do so.
Just remember to take your, banish pile and put your problems back, because starting a game with fewer than 10 problems is a problem.
Yes.
Not a problem that you can solve with easy means.
Because the new problem entering play is not being done so as part of replacement, that means if you're doing this, you're not sending home all of the characters that are here. You're not dismissing face-up troublemakers that are here. And you're not getting rid of resources that are either on this problem or on cards at this problem. There's just a new problem that comes into play in the same area. The other one's just gone. So you cannot use this to really be mean to the opponent and make them have to spend a bunch of action tokens to move everything back up. Nor can you do this to get out of a lock that your opponent has put on you where they've locked down this problem with, I don't know, like Xantorp and 50 rocks. Just off the top of my head. Now, that being said, the problem does still get put into play face up, which means if you have like a day shift or something, yes, that will work. And if you have effects that trigger on the problem entering play, like Magic Restored, sure, those will work too. This is perhaps one of the more unhinged design space cards from this set.
This one
How
is,
many
in fact,
hours of sleep had you gotten when you decided to make this?
I don't know, but originally it only cost 3, and that didn't require long to get fixed. 4 AT is about the value of a turn. I think we've had multiple cards that have decided that.
Then we've had multiple cards that were just like, but what if it was less?
We say no.
But why say no when you can say yes?
Because less is more, and more is better.
All right. So there we go. We got some pairs going on. We got some power generation. We got some
synergy.
Some synergies. Wouldn't call them combos, but we got some good cards working together. And we got some wacky stuff being tried.
Yeah, some of this is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
I am excited to see what people do with these cards. And
please do. Okay, if you're going to do something really interesting and wacky, Please do it before we release these.
Yeah. We are rapidly approaching the point at which Tales of Light will be available for public beta testing. And we would highly encourage anyone here to attend some of the open beta weekend events that we will definitely be scheduling after that happens. There was a survey that was posted in the Discord a couple of weeks ago asking players what their preferred timeline was for Tales of Light being officially released before Everfree this year, such that they would be okay with Tales of Light being legal for play at Everfree. I think we got about 8 responses to that. And almost everyone said 3 to 4 weeks. Well, that lines up with some timetables. So stay tuned and get ready, because we're going to need your help if we're going to make that timetable. But we can do it. There's been more active testing. I can safely say Tales of Light has had more people testing it regularly internally, and more frequent testing of it going on internally than has ever happened for any print and play set ever. The last time there was this much participation, Enterplay was still producing sets commercially.
I'm going to be spicy and say that this probably eclipses the amount of testing that was being done at the end of Enterplay's reign.
I agree. I think we're going back into like Marks in Time Defenders era in terms of level of testing that was going on. We've caught a lot of stuff. We've fixed a lot of stuff. We are still not perfect. More eyes, always better. So when this thing comes out to open beta,
I really want to do a Starship Troopers. You should be doing your part.
you should do your part. I've done my part, aggro player. I've done my part, mid-range player. I've done my part, combo player.
I've done my part.
There you go.
Why did we just slowly transition into Gollum?
Who's the combo player? Come on, it's Gollum.
My precious loop.
My precious loop.
Because
Combo
the ring is a loop.
Oh my
Smart
God.
hobbitses. They figured it out.
Because the ring is a loop. I love it. Man, Ivory, you got some bangers tonight. That one's pretty good.
I try only occasionally.
Okay.
All right.
What were you talking about?
I think we were winding down after pitching the open beta.
Yes, open beta. So,
All right.
would you like to know more? Well, that's good. I don't think we're ready to give a date yet.
Soon.
Soon.
TM. Otherwise, I think that will about wrap up our discussion on this topic for today. We would like to give a big shout out to all our patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much for your regular support. If you aren't currently a patron and you enjoy what we do, please consider donating. Doing so enables us to continue making content like this and lets you earn some great perks as a bonus. If you have comments or questions you'd like to send our way, feel free to reach out to us through Facebook, Twitter, or email. If you're a patron, you can also chat live with us on the Sim Discord any day, anytime. Finally, if you're looking to watch any of our previous videos, including tournament recordings, you can find them on our YouTube channel, linked just below the stream. With all that said, thank you to each and every one of our viewers, both here now and watching this recording later. We are, as always, Commentary is Magic. I'm, as always, Grand Claws. Big Cheese is Airborne.
I'm Arquette, and
I'm Gork. Grok is dead. Long live Gork.
Gork, are you real?
No.
understandable.
I'm confused.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.